So as I was saying at the end of the last video, we've gone and processed all of the transactions, we've reconciled our bank account, okay, and before we finish our exam, okay, we need to record the following balance day adjustments at the end of June, okay, and there's a bunch of reports that we need to print at the end of our exam. We want to back up and roll over our file into the next accounting period, complete any reversing entries, print a trial balance, and then we're out, we're done. Okay, so I'm going to have this beside me and we'll work through these transactions here. Okay, so in order to do the first dot point in our balance day adjustments, a stock take revealed that one screen door is damaged door and so unable to be sold, and 2 tool pouches are missing, presumed stolen. So we need to go and update our stock levels at the end of the year. In order to do that, we go into inventory and we want to go into count inventory. Okay, and here's all of the items that are suggested or on hand. The 2 items that we are concerned with are the screen door here and the tool pouches. So what we've got, the stock take revealed that one screen door is damaged and so unable to be sold. So what we want to do is simply decrease this one. So we're going to put in here counted 9, so that we come up with -1 here in our difference. And we're going to come down here to top pocket tool pouches, and 2 are missing, presumed stolen. So we're going to put 4 in there so that we have -2 in our difference. So with that, we adjust inventory. Default adjustment account. Okay, we want to send this to an expense account. With a stock take, for lack of a better account, we'll put this to shrinkage, spoilage, and offcuts. Basically, this account represents things that we've had to throw out or so here we are, we've done a stock take, we've got a few items either broken or missing, so we're going to use this particular account here as our expense adjustment account for our stock. Continue. Okay. Now make sure, how was my date on that last one? Make sure our date is correct. It needs to be 30th of June 16. Memo, inventory count, we'll call that stock take adjustment. Okay, and then just record on that. And so that is that transaction done. Next one. Depreciate the storeroom equipment by 20% per annum using the straight line method for the month of June. Okay. So bear with me here. The storeroom equipment. If we come back up here, storeroom equipment is storeroom fittings. Storeroom fittings are $24,000. Okay, we want to depreciate them by 20% per annum using the straight line method, but just for the month of June. So, doing that calculation, I'm just going to try and make a note of it somewhere. So it's 24,000. Okay, times 20%. So we do that first, and divided by 12 equals. So get your calculator that you've had handy beside you the whole time, or in my case, my phone. Okay, so 24,000 times 20% depreciation for the year gives us $4,800. Divide that by 12, gives us $400 for the month. Okay, so depreciation just for 1 month is $400. In order to record this adjustment, okay, we're going to do a journal entry. To do that, we're going to accounts. We go record journal entry, and our date is 30th of June 16, and our memo can be depreciation on store room equipment. Okay, with our journal entry for depreciation. And look, you know, you may or may not get one of these in the exam. Okay, it's been a while since you've done accounting for non-current assets, but when we do these journal entries, we need to debit the expense, and which is depreciation expense, and credit accumulated depreciation on the storeroom equipment. So in here, okay, click tab, we go down to our expense accounts, and we select depreciation. Use account, and our amount, as we just calculated before, is $400. There's no tax on depreciation, and as I said, okay, we debit our expense and we credit our accumulated depreciation, which is a negative asset. So storeroom fittings, accumulated depreciation, storeroom equipment, storeroom fittings. Use account, $400. And that's our journal entry. That is that transaction, that second dot point. Okay, the hardest bit of it, okay, yeah, you need to remember the accounts to use, and also doing the maths. Okay, record on that. Okay, our last balance day adjustment. Okay, if you cast your mind back to Core Studies 2 that the Year 11s are currently doing, okay, we've got advertising. It was a 3-month campaign starting on the 1st of May. Oh, pardon my stomach. So, if we go back to our okay, advertising was an amount that we paid on the 28th of June. There was that transaction for Whitsunday Times, $1,500 for advertising. Okay, so $1,500, and advertising was a 3-month campaign starting on the 1st of May. So that means if it starts on the 1st of May, it's applicable for the 3 months May, June, and July. So what we want to do is account for one of those months as a prepayment. So we want to take $500, okay, 1/3 of that $1,500, out of the advertising expense account and put it into prepaid expenses. So, our journal entry, 30th of June 2016, our memo is prepaid advertising at 30th of June. And so our account is, first of all, if we're going to take it out of advertising expense, we need to credit advertising expense, and we need to debit prepaid expenses, which is an asset. So we'll use this prepaid expense account that we set up before. So use account, and it should be $500. Okay, and we want to credit advertising expense $500. In this instance, there really should be GST implications, but in this instance, just leave it as no tax and record that prepayment just like that. Okay? Debit prepaid expense, which is an asset account, credit the expense in order to take it out temporarily so that we can put that advertising expense into next financial year. So let's record there. Okey-doke. So that's all 3 dot points that we needed to do. We keep going down the list. Okay, what we want to do. That's it for 30th of June 2016. As far as this exam's concerned, that's it for 30 June 2016. What you're going to need to do is print a series of reports before you leave the room in your exam. So the first one there, print the transaction journal from the 1st of June 2016 to the 30th of June. So the way to do that, go into your transaction journal, okay, go all. In your exam, I'm going to ask you to print from the 1st of June to today's date. Okay, that's going to help me. If you stuffed up any dates in your exam, hopefully you don't, but if we extend that date range up to today's date, if you've got some dates wrong, that means I'll still be able to see your transaction. If you do set your date range to 30th of June, but you dated some transactions on the 2nd of August 2017, you print the report, I won't be able to see your transactions, and I'll just have to assume that you didn't do them. So, set the date as today's date, and that's going to have every single transaction that you have done. Once you've got that, okay, so date range, all, print. Okay, and it will come up, print at the paper cut, and away you go. So a reminder, guys, if you need to troubleshoot, if you think you've got any transactions wrong or the amounts wrong, okay, the way to come back and find things is in your transaction journal. Okay, typically you can come into all, okay, search by date, okay, there's all the dates of the transactions. This is everything that you've entered. Search for the transaction by date, okay. Once you find it, okay, let's say it's this one here, you can click on the arrow and it will take you into the transaction, okay, and you can go and make some corrections to the date. Like if you got the date wrong, go and find it, click on the arrow, come in here and fix up the date. If you've completely stuffed something up and you need to get rid of it, you can go edit, delete the purchase, okay, and reprocess that particular transaction. But anyway, that one's right, so I'm just getting out of it. That was just a helpful hint. Okay, next one. Print an item list to show what inventories you hold. Okay, so we go into go into reports, go into inventory, print an item list summary. Double click on it, click display, and it will show me our closing stock value on hand at the end of the year. Okay, so preview that to the screen and then hit print, print the paper cut, away you go. Okay, next one, print a profit and loss for the period 1st of June 2016 to the 30th of June. To print a profit and loss and balance sheet, we go into our accounts tab. Okay, so remember, reports from our main screen, we go into reports, accounts, okay, and in here we want to print a profit and loss. So double click on it, takes us into this screen here where we can play with our date range. But that is the date range that we want, 1st of June 2016 to the 30th of June. Okay, click on display. Alright, and there is our income statement. Alright, telling us that we've made a loss. Let me double check that with my old solution that I have here. Yep. Excuse me while I just look at a few things here. Interesting. Okay, moving on. Don't mind me. So that's how you print an income statement. Close. Now the next one, print a balance sheet as at the 30th of June. So in the same accounts tab in our reports section, okay, standard balance sheet, double click on it, make sure our date is correct. We want 30th of June 2016. Click display, okay, and there's our balance sheet. If you want to double check what you've got, you can always hit the pause button. Okay, so here I am here, scrolling down. Hopefully everything matches up. Alright, so next step, okay, we're almost there. We want to, item number 9, back up your data file and roll over into the next accounting period. So, to do that, we go File, Backup. Just select the default settings. Okay, File, Backup, and Continue. And my mob crashed on me. That's not good at all. Hang on a second. Okay, well, let's try that again. I don't think it rolled over, so let's just double check. Company information, still 2016. Right, okay. File, back up. Okay, continue. Don't crash on me. Thank you. Okay, and back up your file. For you guys in your exam, it'll be My Documents. For you working at home, just wherever it is that you are working, probably just go with whatever they're telling you there in the default setting. Hit save, okay, and we now have a backup of our data as at the 30th of June 2016, because now what we're going to do is roll over to the next financial year. Start a new year, start a new financial year, continue, 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 into 2017. Okay, so we're into 2017, and what we want to do is complete, so item number 10 over the page, complete any necessary reversing entries for 1 July 2016. Again, cast your mind back to what you did in Core Studies 2. Okay, for balance day adjustments, we process a balance day adjustment on the 30th of June, but on the 1st of July, or the first day of the next period, we reverse them. Okay, so, but we're not doing it for these two. Okay, they're not essentially balance day adjustments. However, we will need to reverse this one here, because what we've done, we've taken $500 out of advertising, put it into prepaid expenses asset account, and then so on the 1st of July, we just want to reverse that journal entry to reinstate. So essentially, our journal before was debit prepaid expenses, credit insurance. Now with our reversing entry, it is exactly that. It's a reversing entry. We flip it around, debit insurance, credit prepaid expenses. We do that by accounts, record journal entry. Okay, get our date right. 1st of the 6th, 17. Reversing entry. Alright, and so we want to put $500 back into insurance. So we get our insurance expense account. If I can find it. Where's it gone? Oh, sorry. Alright, sorry. Start again. A balance day adjustment was for advertising. It is getting late here. Our balance day adjustment was for advertising. Okay, so our balance day adjustment was debit prepaid expenses, credit advertising. Our reversing entry needs to be debit advertising, credit prepaid expenses. So we go and find our advertising account. There it is right there. And our amount was $500. Okay, tab through. Go and find our prepaid expenses account. Oh, sorry, it was an asset. Prepaid expense. Use account. $500. Okay, and record. That is that entry processed. And you have come to the end of your exam or your task. Okay, so one last report that you need to print. Okay, so that I can see that you have done that reversing entry, it asks you to print a trial balance for July 2016. Okay, so we go into reports, accounts, and a trial balance. In accounts, trial balance. It's in the 2017 financial year, but we just want it for July, okay, because we've only done that one transaction on the 1st of July. Now I'm assuming that I have got my date incorrect. Whew, it is getting late. Okay. Troubleshooting. Okay, I've got my date wrong on my journal. Transaction journal. All. Let's put 1st of the 7th. 1/7. There's my journal. Okay. So I've got my date wrong. It needs to be 1st of the 7th, 2016. Okay. So very important to get your dates right. This is a reversing entry on the first day of the following financial period, 1st of the 7th, 1/6. Okay. Close. Reports. Trial balance. Double click. So 2017 financial year, but the first month of the 2017 financial year is July 2016. So we display that. Okay. There's our trial balance, July 2016, and here I have evidence of that journal entry that has been done. Okay, so you would print that. Okay, print that to paper cut, and that's it. We're done. Hallelujah. I hope this has helped, and best of luck in your exam when the time comes. Feel free to ask any questions if you have the chance in between now and the exam. Okay, thanks guys.